It's the Billy Revolution. It's up to you. Billy Revolution. Here's what you gotta do. The Billy Revolution. A quadrilateral grow. Under your chin, not in the center though. Cause it's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution. Billy Revolution. Fellow revolutionaries, welcome to the Billy Revolution episode 4. So glad to see that so many people are enjoying our very important weekly broadcast about, well, primarily about how we need to abolish screens and we need to reclaim our humanity, but also some other important cultural and psychological and sociological phenomena that we want to look into as well. This week, we're looking into the paralysis of cynicism. And the paralysis of cynicism is really just a relook at what happens when we are chronically cynical. This is not about being naive or about, being chronically positive. What it is it's looking at how we become paralyzed by our own attitudes. And a cynical attitude is one that leads to this paralysis. And we want to look at some ways that happens and why that's not helpful. So cynicism, by definition, has to do with seeing things in a negative way. And seeing things in a negative way is has a certain empoweringness to it, so that people who are looking at the negative can often feel superior to what they're looking at because they've turned it and twisted it in a certain way. So we get cynical about politics. We live in a culture that's very cynical about politics. We get very cynical about a number of issues. Politics is a good example, though, because in a democracy, for those of you lucky enough to be living in democracies, under democracies, hey, how come it's under democracy if it's democracy? Anyway, because democracy really needs more than just people voting every 4 years or every 5 years. It really requires a certain vigilance on the part of the population. And cynicism and the paralysis of cynicism stops that participation. People get very judgmental. They hear something on the news. They go, some more idiots. They're doing this and that. And they don't, it's not a call to action. So their negativity, their pessimism, and their cynicism is not a call to action. It's not sort of like a discomfort that pushes them forward and has them becoming more engaged and helpful and useful citizens. The other thing about it is it can feel very intellectual to be cynical about everything and to be down on everything. But one finds very quickly when talking to people who are cynical that they have not thought out alternatives. They have just programmed themselves to see the bad in things, and then not the different solutions, the different possible solutions. Cynicism is also problematic in our relationship with the environment, with other creatures. We have responsibilities towards other creatures due to our position of power that cynicism will, the paralysis of cynicism will let us forget about, let us not meet those obligations. Another area of cynicism that is rampant is our putting money first. A true cynic will think of money as the prime motivator, and then everything else as motivators after that. The problem with that is it doesn't take into account even remotely the wide swath of human experience and the wide swath of things that have value. So what we want to look at this week, just to finish off, is how can we become less cynical? And one of the ways I think we can become less cynical in a way that is going to help foster a better life for ourselves and, of course, for those around us, and stop being paralyzed, being able to be active, is we have to look for why we're apathetic about certain things. genuine interest is something that we want to cultivate towards other people, towards ideas, towards belief systems. And genuine interest is a wonderful way to help lower our paralysis because of our cynicism. And it's an effort that one should make. Just start practicing making. Just say, I'm going to be genuinely interested in 5 things each day, and I'm going to show that genuine interest in the way that I interact with it, and then I'm going to leave things as they fall. I'm going to let that just be the way it is. The paralysis of cynicism often means that we make a judgment so quickly we fail to have a full experience of an idea, a full experience or a full interaction with another human. And that's another big problem with it. So I hope that we can think about paralysis of cynicism this week, and of course how it cuts us off really from having a fully engaged life and to be questing and on a journey. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great week, and we'll be back next week, I hope, with cultural norms of beauty. Who better to talk about cultural norms of beauty? Thanks so much.
You and I are quite alike. You drove your car, baby. I brought my bike. You know that it is such a funny game when we pretend we're just the same.
Melinda's recognized that she's going to benefit from meditation. She's going to benefit from slowing down at a certain point every day for half an hour, sitting down and just doing absolutely nothing but closing her eyes and focusing on a white flag. David's sitting down doing nothing for 3 or 4 hours every night watching television. They're doing the same thing.
It's the Billy Revolution. It's up to you. Billy Revolution. Here's what you gotta do. The Billy Revolution. A quadrilateral grow under your chin, not in the center though, 'cause it's the Billy Revolution. It's the Billy Revolution.